What's up, guys? Welcome back to the ASAP Automotive channel, and today we're going to be helping the old Fire Chicken do a little bit of pop, lock, and drop it. So stay tuned. More so, that means we're going to be helping her not pop, lock, and drop it, or pop, lock, and not drop it. And what the hell does all that mean? We're putting bump stops on this thing. Bump stops go in the back suspension of this car. This car, whenever you go to take off, like at a drag strip or light or whatever, the car wants to squat. It weight transfers, sets the back down, and it goes, which is good. It's what you want. But everything in moderation, right? You gotta have something to kind of limit that back there. And these things actually inherently ride on the bump stops quite a bit back there, unlike most vehicles like this Tundra over here, where if you get it on the bump stops in the rear, like you really flex that thing. So that being said, the factory ones are still in here. They're dry rotted and crumbling. So call their friends at Stranos Parts up in PA and got a set of these replacements, the rubber replacements. Now, there is an option. You can go urethane on these. And any of you who've been watching the channel knows for a while that I preach balance in everything in a build. We could easily put the urethane ones in here, but I didn't want to, and he highly discouraged it as well, because as much as these do rest on the bump stops, it would give an insanely rough ride. Be great at the track, you know, if you had a full-blown track car, you know, for a drag strip or whatever, then absolutely go urethane. Same with urethane motor mounts, which, you know, we're doing factory replacements in these, because this is my wife's car. It's a balance of a street and strip car, so I don't want it to have a rough shake to it all the time with it transferring so much, which is great to transfer power to the ground, but not so great when you're sitting and driving it all day and your wife gets tired of it and doesn't want to drive it anymore. So that being said, that's why we're going with the rubbers. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the back, go ahead and get the wheels off and show you what the heck we're talking about. All right, so now we got the bump stop off of the car. Comes out in two pieces. You've got your actual bump stop here, which this one's all nice and dry rotted and cracked. And then you've got your aluminum little spacer bracket here. You'll notice this has got an indentation. This fits, actually it sets like that. Sets in there and it bolts onto the car there in the back right above the axle. This is what the axle bumps against under full flex or going down the road or whatever. And these, like I said, they ride on the bump stops a lot more than your average vehicle. So it's important to have a good set of these. What we're going to do is we're doing away with these since they're so rotten, and we're going with these rubber replacements. Like I said, you can do urethane if you want. In a car like this, we obviously went with rubber. But one of the things you're going to have to do, though, is you got this in your way here. Obviously, that doesn't work. So you come through however you want to cut it with a Sawzall or whatever. I left my Sawzall at the house, so I just use my whiz wheel on my die grinder and cut this section off and just come back and kind of grind it a little bit smooth there. And then this one will go right on. There's really not a whole lot to it. I'm going to put probably a little bit more blue Loctite back on here. Put your bolts in, and we'll go back and bolt this back onto the car. If you notice, same thing, it's got an indentation. You got to make sure that it goes up with this indentation facing out towards you back on the car. All right, so like I said, you got your indentation facing towards you. That goes around that flange on the body. You got your two bolts. Got a little bit of fresh blue Loctite on them. And we're gonna go ahead and start these by hand. Just a couple of 13 millimeters and then tighten them on down. I'm sure there's a Torx spec out there, but just good and snug on these will do fine. And that's pretty much it for them. We're going to do the same exact thing to the other side. We're going to pull it apart, put it in a vise, grind that raised part off, and grind it down smooth, and go ahead and put our new ones on. So. All right, so this is what the adapter looks like before cutting it off. So we're going to come in here. You got 3 different ridges across here. We're just going to come in and zizz it off, grind it down nice and smooth, and that way we can put our new bump stuff on. And that's a wrap, guys. It's that easy to change these, really. You know, we've been over it before about, you know, jacking your vehicle up, making sure it's safe and all that. You know, the whole disclaimer below. You know, especially with, you know, pulling the wheels off and everything, make sure you go back and torque them. The torque on these is 100 foot-pounds. And it's pretty much universal across these 4th gen F bodies. And this will be the same, you know, for Camaro, because literally it's the same car underneath. But yeah, it's literally that simple to change them out, and hopefully it should make a nice difference in the ride in this thing. Like I said, if you want to go your thing, cool, but that's more of a strictly racing thing. So, but that being said, remember guys, until next time, stock is not an option. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching again. You guys like the video and you think you want to be a part of this team? We're growing like crazy. We're hiring now. We are looking for a full-blown ASE certified technician, maybe somebody at least on the master level, and everything, you know, that can do diagnostics, AC, all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested and think you'd be a good fit in this team, we've got all the information below to contact us. And remember, until next time, stock is not an option.